Hello and welcome to Invictus Motors for a review of this Porsche 911. This is the Carrera S, and in terms of the date they were built from 2014 to 2018. This is the variant 991.2. They have become all turbocharged in this generation and onwards in terms of the 911, because the displacement came down from previous S, 4S variants, the GTS variants, from 3.8 litre to 3 litre, but twin turbocharged. But before I can get into this review any further, don't forget to click subscribe, comment, like, whatever, and just want to say a big massive thank you for actually watching these videos, because we earn out of YouTube and that money we donate to charity, and that charity is called Noble Connection. They do projects in Afghanistan, and they are just humanitarian projects such as building a learning center, giving food packages, building wells in Afghanistan. It's just critical things that we probably take for granted in this country and in this society, but we don't have practically much of that in Afghanistan. So thank you very much for actually watching these videos. Now back into this 911. This is finished in this gorgeous Carrera white, complemented with a 20-inch Carrera wheels. And I've got a lot to say about this 911, because this ultimately is basically the best spec 991.2, whether it be an S, a 4S, whatever we've ever had, even amongst the GTS specification, because this is complete. Trust me, it is literally complete. But before I can get into the nitty-gritty details of reviewing the spec items, such as the color, the wheels, and what are these amazingly special spec items, it's best that I take it out for a drive. Being behind the steering wheel of any Porsche is satisfying, but there's nothing more satisfying being behind one that is as modern as this and as well spec'd as this. And the first test I'd like to actually run in this video is just for you to hear what it sounds like without the sports exhaust on, and then the sports exhaust switched on. So let me do this. So I'd say quite subdued. And now I will turn the sports exhaust on. You can hear the valves open up, you can hear the vibration. You get the burble, and this is for those naysayers that says, oh, they are turbocharged, they don't sound as good. Yeah, we'll see about that. And I'll actually, from the back, put in sports mode. And this is the sound from the 3 litre twin turbocharged engine. And now, as we're talking about 3 litre twin turbocharged, you're probably wondering what sort of bhp this puts out. bhp wise, this engine produces 415 brake horsepower, 500 newton meters of torque, the 0 to 62 miles per hour possible in 3.9 seconds. And believe me, that is quick. And now in terms of the top speed, this 911 is able to do that. It's 190 miles per hour. And for a car that you could daily and drive around every single day, have 2 seats at the back with a big, huge, boot at the front. It's a lot of performance, and for a sports car that I think in terms of a 911 being made continuously from 1963, up until the present day, which has just been refined and improved and refined and improved, this, I think, to some degree, and to my thinking and knowledge, I think it's the best reflection of what a 911 really is. Just the silhouette, the lines, the aggressive nature of it. Yes, it's turbocharged, but it's part of the evolution of what the 911s should really all be about. Now, spec-wise, this is incredibly well spec'd. And normally when it comes to 911s, you don't find them as well option as this. Yes, it might have the key ingredients such as sports exhaust and Chrono Sport Plus package and sports seats, but even that in itself, you don't necessarily find it in every single 911. But for this to have this kind of 3 key spec items, as well as the rear axle steering wheel, the carbon package, and the fact that it's got over and above that with adaptive cruise control and the Bose sound system, the sort of 16-way electrically adjustable seats with memory, and you know, you take into account the fact this has got a rear view camera with front and rear parking sensors, and just the spec list goes on and on, including the fact it's got the PDLS headlights, the Porsche dynamic cornering headlights, and just all in, I think this probably has in and around the region of about £25,000 worth of optional spec items. And that's why they call Porsche the king of optionals, or the king of spec, or whatever they're known for. Now, handling wise, this handles like an absolute dream. The PDK now being in its third iteration or third generation of the Porsche 911, because they first introduced it in 2008, 2009 for the 997.2, and that generation of the 911s ran until 2011, and then from 2011 to 2015 they had the 991.1, so it's the predecessor of the 991.2, and then of course they put the PDK in the 991.2 from 2014 to 2018. And the 911 has always been known for something in Porsche lineup to be different to everything else that they produce. And I feel like with the 992, they've let themselves down a little bit in that aspect, which I think they should have done more to create more sort of aggressive lines and just the whole silhouette of this 911 with the way it looks from that top roof line, which I'll actually just explain now by getting out of the car, because I'm here at the end of the test drive. It's this that I'm referring to, it's this silhouette of the 911 starting from the front all the way to the back of the car. And this, unfortunately, is what you don't get with the Porsche 911, the 992 generation, starting from 2019 to the present day. And I know at some point we might be expecting a brand new 911, and some people say that could be a hybrid, potentially to some degree a component of the influence of EV coming onto the 911s. And when you think of it in that nature, in that way, this just is the epitome of what a Porsche 911 should be. Just the lines that run throughout this car, I think just is beautiful, it's aggressive. The way the top line here, the top line from somewhere here just slopes down. There's this beauty to it, there's a sleekiness to it, which I think you do not find in the Porsche 992s at all, in any way, form or shape whatsoever. Well, what do we have here specification? Well, starting from the front, if you're wondering what this radar box right there is, that's your adaptive cruise control, and the headlights are the high-end Porsche Xenon dynamic cornering plus headlights. So this is as top range as it can get when it comes to headlights. Finished in the Carrera white with the 20-inch Carrera wheels. And now this is where it gets really pretty and incredibly beautiful when it comes to spec of this 911, because this section of it right here is the tilt and slide panoramic glass roof. It's beautiful when it's opened, and it's even more beautiful when it's closed, and almost gives you a convertible like feeling. And I will talk about the inside of it in a minute, so I just would like to cover this as well. Because it's a white color with these gorgeous satin gray wheels and the black glass roof and the vertical grills that you find there, it's just got a beautiful contrast between the black and the white happening right here. And then the rear LED lights are sculpted. They've got a proper 3D feel to it. And you've got the Porsche 911 Carrera S badging finished in chrome. So is the center pipe exhaust system finished in chrome as well. And then it being obviously the later 911s, you find these obviously ducts here as well, just for more air and better aerodynamics. And just other spec items are things like the sports exhaust system. It also has a sports chrono plus package, so you almost get a soft stage 1 remap, as well as rear axle steering. Steering wheel is the GT Sport steering wheel, leather wrapped, which is also heated, multifunctional. You've got the Chrono Sport Plus package button right here. And you also have a little button here, a bit, which is what you normally find on the Fast and Furious movies. You press and you get this turbo boost for, I think, 10 or 15 seconds. You've got the 16 or 18-way electrically adjustable seats. And as soon as you actually walk into the car, the tread plate here is finished in stainless steel as well. Side folding door mirrors with Boza, and you've got the carbon package here as well. You find carbon here, carbon on the center dash, carbon around here, around the cup holders. And it being the sports Chrono Plus package, you've got the Chrono watch, Porsche crest on the headrest. You've got Alcantara on the headlining. It's the extended leather interior, so you find leather here on the dash with the contrast stitching on the dash as well. The PDK transmission finished in leather as well. Carbon, as I already mentioned here, with the heated seats button as well. We've got the 2+2 layout, so you've basically got the best of both worlds. And you've got front rear parking sensors as well as with a rear view camera. And that's practically everything that I can kind of just throw at you spec-wise. There might be things I might have missed out. And in terms of the overall condition and the quality of this 911, if you're looking for one that's been well maintained, that's good owners, then this is the 911 to have. I've now known this 911 for circa 4 years, because the current owner, we sourced it for her, and it's ready to find its new home. In terms of the number of former keepers, this has got, from memory, I think 3 former keepers. And just the service history, this was first registered in 2016, so it's had a service in 2018 at the main dealer, and then at 2020 at the main dealer, and subsequently at, I think from memory, I remember at 21 we serviced it, or 22, and then subsequent to that we've serviced it just recently now as well. So practically a full Porsche specialist service history, a good number of owners, and the kind of condition of this 911 speaks for itself. And at the price it's listed at is incredibly good value for money, which is at 61,995. So thank you very much for watching our video. Don't forget to click subscribe, like, and share. As you know, and as I've said at the beginning of this review, we earn out of YouTube and we donate that money to charity. So thank you very much for watching.